cocaine. Cocaine is one of the most dangerous substances the NHL bans outright. While the league focuses on rehabilitation first, there's no tolerance for its use. The NHL and NHLPA Substance Abuse and Behavioral Health Program classifies cocaine as a banned drug of abuse. A player who tests positive for cocaine is immediately referred for mandatory assessment and treatment. Refuse to comply? The league can impose suspensions or further discipline. The NHL has seen the devastation cocaine can cause. Just look at Bob Probert's suspension in 1989 after his infamous border arrest. Cocaine's risks on the ice are terrifying. Heart attacks, impaired judgment, and violent mood swings at high speed. The NHL's stance is clear: no cocaine, no exceptions. Any player caught knows they're risking their health, career, and the integrity of the league. The message? Stay clean or face the consequences. Performance-enhancing drugs. The NHL bans performance-enhancing drugs outright. Steroids, human growth hormone, and masking agents have no place in the league. The NHL and NHLPA run a joint testing program that screens players during the season and off-season. The policy is strict. A first positive test means a 20-game suspension. A second means 60 games. Get caught a third time? That's a lifetime ban. The league's stance is simple. Hard work should drive success, not shortcuts. PEDs create an uneven playing field and put players at risk. Steroids and HGH can cause organ damage, hormonal imbalances, and long-term health issues. In a sport as physical as hockey, the danger doesn't stop with the user. It affects everyone on the ice. The NHL's goal is to keep the game clean and fair. Once you test positive, the path back isn't easy. The consequences are meant to protect the sport's integrity and scare off anyone thinking about cheating. Gambling on NHL games. The NHL bans players, coaches, officials, and team staff from betting on league games. It doesn't matter if you're wagering on your team or another. If it's connected to the NHL, it's off limits. This ban has been in place for decades, protecting the integrity of the sport. The league's position is clear: no betting, no exceptions. The reason is simple. Fans need to trust that what they're seeing on the ice is real. Every goal, every save, every hit has to be genuine, not influenced by a betting slip. The NHL saw what gambling scandals did to other sports, and it took steps early to avoid that fate. Get caught gambling on NHL action, and your career can end in an instant. The league has handed down lifetime bans before. The message? Hockey stays pure or you're out. The risk just isn't worth it. And trust me, the NHL story gets even wilder from here. What comes next? Let's just say no one saw it coming. If you're enjoying this breakdown, hit subscribe and tell us in the comments. What's your favorite moment in NHL history? Oversized goalie equipment. The NHL bans oversized goalie equipment to keep the game fair. There was a time when goalies pushed the limits, wearing gear so massive it seemed like they filled the entire net. Pads got wider, chest protectors grew bulkier. The league stepped in and set strict size limits. Today, leg pads can't exceed 11 inches in width, and chest protectors have to match the goalie's body form, not turn them into walking walls. The rule isn't about punishing goalies, it's about making sure saves come from talent, not technology. Oversized gear made it too easy to block shots without effort. The NHL wants netminders to rely on skill, positioning, and reflexes. If a goalie's caught with illegal equipment, they're pulled from the game until it's fixed. Teams can face fines, and repeat offenders risk bigger penalties. The message is clear. Big saves should come from ability, not armor. Mandatory visor violations. Since the 2013-14 NHL season, visors have been mandatory for all new players entering the league. Veterans who played before the rule's introduction were grandfathered in, meaning they could choose to play without a visor if they wished. The mandatory visor rule was implemented to reduce the risk of devastating facial and eye injuries caused by pucks, sticks, and collisions. Players who fail to comply with the visor requirement aren't allowed to take the ice. Officials check equipment before games, and any player missing a proper visor is ordered off until their gear meets league standards. The rule reflects the NHL's ongoing focus on player safety, particularly as concussion and eye injury awareness has grown. Today, almost all players wear visors, even those who aren't required to by rule. The culture has shifted. Protecting your vision is no longer seen as optional or a sign of weakness. Illegal stick curvature. The NHL bans stick blades with excessive curvature. The limit is clear: 3/4 of an inch from heel to toe. The rule came into place after players like Bobby Hull and Stan Mikita started bending their blades in the 1960s. Their sticks sent pucks knuckling and darting unpredictably. It made life impossible for goalies, and the league decided enough was enough. The point of the rule is fairness. A wildly curved stick can turn every shot into a trick shot. The NHL wants goals to come from precision and skill, not equipment tricks. By setting a strict curve limit, the league keeps the playing field level. If a player's caught with an illegal curve, they get hit with a minor penalty. Refuse to hand over the stick? Now you're looking at a game misconduct. The message is simple: follow the rules or face the consequences. Jersey tugging. The NHL bans players from tucking their jerseys into their hockey pants during games. This rule, introduced formally in the 2013-14 season, aimed to maintain uniformity and improve visibility for officials. When jerseys are tucked, it can obscure key details like numbers, nameplates, and equipment specifications, making it harder for referees to identify players or ensure compliance with safety standards. The ban was inspired partly by the popularity of the look, thanks to legends like Wayne Gretzky, who famously tucked his jersey during his career. Though iconic, the style created headaches for officials tasked with enforcing uniform regulations during fast-paced games. Players who tuck their jersey during play can be given a warning and, if they don't comply, assessed a delay of game penalty. The league's message is clear: the focus should stay on fair play and safety, not personal style choices that complicate officiating. Two-piece goalie masks. The NHL bans two-piece goalie masks. In the early days of mask design, some goalies wore masks with separate plates for the forehead and the lower face. The idea was to offer flexibility and comfort, but the design failed where it mattered most: safety. The seams between the plates became weak spots. Pucks and sticks could slip through or cause the mask to break apart on impact. After multiple injuries, the league had seen enough. The NHL banned two-piece masks, requiring goalies to wear single-shell designs or approved hybrid models that provide full, seamless protection. It wasn't just about protecting the goalie, it was about setting a standard that kept everyone on the ice safer. Today, all goalie masks in the NHL must meet strict certification standards. Two-piece masks are a thing of the past. They're part of hockey history, but they'll never return to the ice. Helmet removal before fights. According to NHL Rule 46.6, the NHL bans players from removing their helmets before engaging in a fight. It was introduced in the 2013-14 preseason to reduce the risk of serious head injuries during altercations. Before the ban, players like George Peros became famous for whipping off their helmets before throwing punches, believing it made fights more authentic and less restricted. However, as awareness of concussions and skull injuries grew, the league decided it couldn't allow the tradition to continue. Removing helmets exposed players to severe injuries if they fell or took a punch to the head. Now, if a player intentionally removes their own helmet, or their opponent's, before or during a fight, it results in an automatic minor penalty. The rule doesn't stop fighting outright, but it ensures that safety comes first when tempers boil over. Protect the head, protect the player. Jewelry during games. The NHL bans players from wearing visible jewelry during games. That means no chains, no bracelets, no rings, nothing that could pose a safety hazard. The rule exists for a good reason. A chain can get caught during a scrum, a bracelet could scratch or cut a teammate, and a ring could cause injury during physical contact. In a sport as fast and rough as hockey, even small accessories can become dangerous. Players are allowed to wear personal items under their gear if they're secured and invisible. But if anything is visible on the ice, the officials will make sure it's removed before play continues. This ban isn't about style, it's about keeping everyone safe. The NHL wants the focus on the game, not on accessories that could lead to freak injuries. It's a simple rule that helps prevent unnecessary risks during hard-fought battles. Smoking on league property. The NHL bans smoking on league property, including locker rooms, benches, and any areas tied to official team operations. There was a time, decades ago, when it wasn't unusual to see players lighting up between periods or after games, but as awareness of the dangers of smoking grew, the league took action. The ban is about more than just image. It's about protecting player health and creating a professional environment. Hockey demands peak physical performance, and smoking simply doesn't fit that standard. Secondhand smoke also posed risks to teammates, staff, and even fans in older enclosed arenas. Today, smoking anywhere in NHL facilities is a serious violation. Players and staff caught breaking the rule face fines and potential disciplinary action. The league's stance is firm. Tobacco products have no place in modern hockey. The focus stays on fitness, performance, and setting the right example for fans. Ban on helmetless play. The NHL banned helmetless play for all new players starting with the 1979-80 season, a landmark moment in the league's commitment to player safety. Before that, many players skated bareheaded, believing helmets were uncomfortable or made them look weak. But as the game got faster and shots harder, head injuries became too common to ignore. The league introduced the helmet mandate, But veterans already under contract were given the option to continue without one, a grandfather clause. Craig McTavish famously became the last helmetless player, retiring in 1997 after a career that spanned the transition to mandatory headgear. Today, helmets are a non-negotiable part of NHL equipment. No player can take the ice without one that meets strict safety standards. The rule has helped reduce severe head injuries, reinforcing that protection isn't about looking tough, it's about keeping players safe in one of the world's fastest and most physical sports. Two-stick play. The NHL bans players from using two sticks at the same time during a game. It might sound like a strange thing to outlaw, but the rule exists to keep the game fair and orderly. A player can't carry a second stick to defend, block shots, or create an advantage. Even if you're trying to hand a stick to a teammate who's lost theirs, you can't actively play while holding two. The purpose of the ban is simple. Each player should be limited to one stick, one puck handler at a time. Anything else creates confusion, clutter on the ice, and an unfair edge. If a player is caught using two sticks at once, they're given a minor penalty for illegal equipment. The NHL keeps the game clean, fast, and focused. No juggling, no gimmicks, just hockey played the right way. The trapezoid puck handling ban. The NHL bans goalies from handling the puck behind the goal line unless they're within the designated trapezoid area. This trapezoid sits right behind the net, wider at the boards, and narrowing at the goal line. The rule came into play after goalies like Martin Brodeur became so skilled at playing the puck that they could shut down opposing forechecks entirely. The ban keeps the game flowing and prevents goalies from turning dump-ins into easy breakouts. By limiting where a goalie can handle the puck, the NHL encourages more offensive pressure and forces defenders to make plays under pressure. If a goalie touches the puck behind the goal line but outside the trapezoid, it's an automatic 2-minute delay of game penalty. The message is clear. The trapezoid isn't just paint on the ice. It's a boundary that keeps the game fair and exciting. Ban on illegal helmet modifications. The NHL strictly bans players from modifying their helmets in ways that compromise safety. In the past, some players tried cutting ventilation holes, thinning out padding, or altering chin straps to make helmets lighter, cooler, or more stylish. But these changes turned protective gear into dangerous liabilities. Modified helmets often lost their structural integrity, making them prone to cracking or shattering on impact. The risks were enormous. A helmet with removed padding or added holes offered little protection against the high-speed collisions and flying pucks common in NHL play. The league stepped in to ensure helmets remain as designed, unaltered, certified, and ready to protect. Today, any helmet that's been tampered with is treated as illegal equipment. Players caught wearing modified helmets must replace them immediately or be removed from play. The NHL's priority is clear. No shortcuts, no exceptions, only proper head protection on the ice. Illegal skate blades. The NHL bans illegal skate blades that don't meet approved standards. Over the years, some players have tried creative modifications. Serrated edges, hollowed out blades, chemically treated steel to gain an edge on the ice. The league shut these ideas down fast. Skate blades must meet strict dimensional and material standards to ensure player safety and fair competition. The ban isn't just about leveling the playing field, it's about preventing dangerous situations. Blades with unusual modifications can damage the ice surface, increase the risk of injuries, or cause unpredictable collisions. The NHL wants every player to skate on gear that's safe for them and for everyone else sharing the rink. If illegal blades are discovered, the player must swap them out immediately. No exceptions. The rule keeps the game clean, consistent, and as safe as a high-speed sport can be. Non-partner brand logos. The NHL bans players from wearing visible logos or branding from companies that aren't official league partners. That means no rogue logos on jerseys, helmets, gloves, or other equipment during games. The rule is all about protecting the league's sponsorship agreements. NHL gear is part of a multi-billion-dollar ecosystem, and giving free advertising to brands that haven't paid for the privilege isn't allowed. Players can wear what they like off the ice or in the tunnel, but once they step onto NHL ice, the logos visible on their gear have to be approved. That keeps things clean for broadcasters, sponsors, and fans. If a player shows up wearing non-partner branding, they'll be told to change it out before the game continues. The NHL keeps tight control of its image. It's not about hating style, it's about protecting business. Alcohol on the bench. The NHL bans alcohol on or near the bench during games. In the early days of hockey, there were stories, some true, some legend, of players sneaking flasks onto the bench or grabbing a beer between periods. But as the game evolved and professionalism became the standard, the league drew a hard line. The ban isn't just about image. Alcohol impairs judgment, slows reaction time, and increases the risk of injuries in a sport that's already fast and dangerous. The NHL's message is simple. When you're on the ice or on the bench, you need to be fully focused and ready for battle. Any player or staff member caught with alcohol during a game faces serious consequences, including fines and possible suspension. The league's stance keeps hockey clean, sharp, and safe for the players and for the integrity of the game. And that's the story. Every single thing the NHL has banned to protect its players, its integrity, and its image. From gear to substances, the league draws a hard line. Some bans are obvious, others, not so much. But every one of them shaped the game we know today. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit subscribe. More deep dives into hockey's wildest stories are on the way.